With less than a week to go until arguably the biggest game of Man United's season or Man United's history in the past 5 to 10 years, considering Fergie's retired and we have been an absolute shit show, I'm worried, to be honest. I don't normally get this anxious about a Man United game. I mean, I get anxious because I hate seeing my team lose, and when I see United lose, it really, it gets under my skin, and I don't know how to deal with it, to be honest. It's been happening since I can remember, and this season has been very hard to watch, considering we are currently 16th in the league, and going down the years of every other Premier League season, if the three teams that came up didn't do so badly, we would probably in a relegation scrap right now. Never mind being in the European final, even though we are, but it could be very possible we could have got relegated this season. I mean, 39, 40 points maybe? I mean, maybe saying that is a bit of a stretch, but it's definitely possible with, if like the likes of Ipswich or the likes of Leicester and Southampton, forget Southampton, I mean Southampton have been just an absolute waste of space. But yeah, we have been absolutely dire this season, and so have Tottenham, and the fact we're both in a Europa League final is hilarious, really. It's kind of taking the piss out of the league itself. I mean, the Europa League is a league I'd like to win, obviously. I mean, I'd count a trophy as a trophy. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's the Conference League or if it's the Carabao Cup. That's why Arsenal fans are hilarious to listen to, because they keep banging on Arteta trophy in about a year. So look, with Manchester United, they need to win, because I think if Amorim doesn't win this final, I think his job is on the line before United kick a ball next season. I definitely do think United will make a decision. Now, it might be a little bit of a Ten Hag situation where they give him next season and see what happens, and they give him a transfer window, which is probably what I think will happen in the end. But there's a slight part of me where I think they might just bite the bullet and get rid of him, which I think is ridiculous, because I do think he needs a transfer window. But personally, if he doesn't win the Europa League, it's against Spurs. I mean, realistically, Tottenham don't win anything. I mean, I'm sorry, they're just shit. Let's just stop beating around the bush. Tottenham are shit. Doesn't matter who they are. Under Poch, yes, they got to a Champions League final, but we all knew Liverpool were going to beat them back then, didn't we? In, 2019? We all knew Liverpool were going to hop off them. So I do think United will win. Am I confident? I wouldn't say I'm confident, considering it's United's worst side ever in history. But what I will say is I've watched all the media and all this kind of stuff about, surrounding the Europa League final, in terms of the overlap and stuff, and I've seen that Gary Neville has said that only Bruno Fernandes would get into the Tottenham side, which I find absolutely hilarious and utter nonsense, considering we've got Amad Diallo, who I think is up there with our best player. He's our best forward anyway. I know Bruno Fernandes is a winger, or Bruno Fernandes is a midfielder. Amad Diallo is our best forward. Højlund is useless. Garnacho is useless. Yeah, Amad Diallo is our best forward. To say that, I don't know, it's a bit weird. And the fact that Spurs have Maddison, Kulusevski now out, Bergvall, all injured for the final, makes United, it makes it more easier. I don't like wishing injuries on players, but it does, because Maddison's probably Spurs' best player, apart from Son. I think Son's back from injury now as well. But in terms of creativity, Maddison's their best player. I don't see how Spurs break us down, considering that they don't have a creative midfielder. I mean, that might backfire in a week's time, but they don't have a creative midfielder. I mean, Bentancur isn't a creative midfielder. Good midfielder, but not a creative midfielder. Basuma isn't a creative midfielder, he's more of a number 6. So that area for Spurs is probably where they're lacking, and defensively this season Spurs have been absolutely woeful, kind of the same as United, but they do score goals, and that's the one issue that I'm not comfortable with. Solanke is a decent striker, and we don't have a decent striker. We've actually got a bang average striker, and that's been kind. We've got an absolutely atrocious striker who probably wouldn't even make it into a championship side, and that's me being serious, by the way. That's not even me taking the piss. Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest, but what I've seen as well with the whole Amorim situation of him paying for tickets to go over, or for staff, I think it is. Well, our club is a absolute shit show. I mean, God, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is actually bad, isn't he? Like, he's got Sir at the start of his name, and he's treating people like this. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Same with, if we win the Europa League, he's not organising an open top bus because basically we can't afford it. I mean, it's bullshit considering he's a multi-billionaire, but, steal from the poor, you know what I mean? Honestly, God. I really wanted Qatar to take us over because I don't see a way back, and it's proven right so far. I mean, we are a shambles, and this game means everything in terms of getting back into the Champions League, winning the trophy, which not many teams do. Just ask Arsenal, just ask Tottenham themselves, just ask many of the Premier League clubs that haven't won a trophy in years, like Aston Villa, Newcastle have just won one for the first time in 70 years. Crystal Palace are in the final for the first time they were in the final with us in the FA Cup a few years back, but they haven't won a trophy in God knows how long. So it will be interesting to see if we can actually get over the line and get back into the Champions League where Manchester United belong. And I don't care how badly we've played. I mean, Arsene Wenger, absolute gobshite, saying, none of these two teams deserve to go into the Champions League, which I find utterly hilarious, because after he won the league in 2004, was the sole purpose of getting into the Champions League. He's the actual reason why all these fans are infested about getting into the top 4, because that's what he made his career off over the last 10 to 15 years. I mean, absolutely shambles. I mean, he won the FA Cup every time and finished 4th, and at the end of it, Arsenal fans got sick and tired of it, and now they're doing the opposite with Arteta. Isn't that what he's doing now? But he isn't winning them a trophy. I mean, it's kind of laughable, really, if we're talking about it. It's hilarious. I mean, football fans are actually stupid. So that rule's been there for years, by the way. It's like it's not anything new. The rule is, if you win the Europa League, you get into the Champions League. That rule isn't something that's just been plucked out of thin air the past couple of months. It's been there since the competition was made. So get rid of him anyway. I mean, he's been out of management for God knows how long. He should just go back to doing whatever he's doing. Relax himself a little bit. Kind of like Fergie, you know what I mean? Fergie's just retiring happily. Yeah. Just relax. Anyway. I'd love to know what other people think, because I'm generally shitting myself. And if Spurs end up beating us to win their first European trophy and their first trophy since 2008, I'm officially going into hiding, and you won't see me for a while. Let's just say that. But anyway, we've still got a Premier League game to go. I mean, the Premier League is basically a pre-season friendly at this stage. I mean, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't, it's not really a thing for us anymore. So it's kind of just a game that's put there, and we're like, we have to play that. But then it's Wednesday. It's all eyes on Wednesday. And I do think we will win. I know. I normally don't. I'm normally I'm not this type of fan that just tries to stay positive for the sake of it. But I do think we'll beat Tottenham because it's Tottenham. That's the only reason I think we're going to win, to be honest. If it was any other decent side, like a La Liga side, that like Sevilla, for example, like who bet us, or no, Villarreal bet us a couple of years ago, but like if them or Sevilla, I know we beat Bilbao and we beat Athletic Club on the way to the final, but if we played a Spanish club or a German club in the final, I'd be a lot more scared. But I do think we will win. The only problem is that Spurs have beaten us 3 times this season, so look, we'll see what happens, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. So yeah, hopefully we can get over the line. That's it.